Well, good morning. Kelly Wheeler here, bringing you a Monday morning. I'm not going to call this a tip more than a philosophical or a psychological principle to combat why real estate leads never respond to your message. Any of you guys out there frustrated? You send out advertisements, whether it's social media, Google, and you get buyers. In this case, let's talk about buyers for this video. The same psychological principle can be applied to sellers, but let's talk about buyers right now. You do all of this advertising and you get these leads to come into your CRM and nothing ever happens. They just don't respond to you. By the way, if you haven't joined our marketing, social media, and lead generation or lead gen mastermind group, go ahead and find me and I will go ahead and accept you. I usually do it right away, but within an hour or two, I'll accept you. A lot of great tips in this group, guys. If you go to the files tab, you're going to see tons of downloadable, shareable, and editable content that I'm putting in there. And I put new stuff in pretty much every week. You're getting something new in there. The reason for this group is to have a free platform where I'm not doing any coaching. We're not charging for things. If there is something on here for that you have to pay for, it doesn't benefit me. It might be a software that you can utilize. So anyway, check out the page, enjoy the free content, share it with other members, and I digress. Let's move on. So you've got buyers, you're generating leads, but they're just not communicating with you. What can you do to have all of your real estate leads, or a portion of them, actually respond to you? Let's talk about the mindset of a buyer. National Association of Realtors did a study, and they said that after their study that a lot, if not most, of the buyers out there that are thinking about buying a home stop for two reasons. One, they think their credit isn't good enough. And we're talking about people with credit in the mid 600s to lower 600s to 680, anywhere from 580 to 680 that you and I both know we have lenders that can deal with that. So that's one thing that stops a buyer. They think they have to have a 700 plus credit score, and so, well, there's just no reason for me to talk to an agent or a mortgage lender. The second thing is down payment. Most buyers think you need 20% down to buy a home, and you and I both know that that is not the case. So let's talk about the mindset of that buyer, and let's use a story about you and me. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to go and buy a car because the car that you're in is just absolutely a POS? It just is on its last leg and it doesn't look good. You're embarrassed. It's time to get a new car. But you were concerned that you didn't have the credit necessary to do it, or you were embarrassed to go and have some salesperson or their manager pull your credit and look at, where you're at. So you just didn't think you could. And so you stop. And at that point, you probably, if your car dies, you veer off to a buy here, pay here lot and pay some ungodly amount of interest. Or you go to a extremely high interest credit union, bank, well, not credit union, but mortgage, car loan company. And you can find tons of them online. And you can't buy a new car and you end up having to buy an older model car with high miles. And by the time you're done paying for it, you could have had a brand new car for probably less. Guys, that's what buyers are doing when it comes to houses. They think they don't have the credit or they don't have a down payment, so we're just going to keep renting, which is 100% interest rate, no equity, and it's a cycle that until education is brought to the buyer, they're going to stay in. So what do you do? So now this won't work in every area out there, guys. This principle won't work in every area. But one of the things that you can do is you can bring some information that the buyer doesn't have. And I'll give you a for instance. Again, some of your areas might be in extremely affluent zip codes, and you probably don't have access to programs like USDA, 0% down. But a lot of you guys do. I know in my county, we have a lot of areas that we can get people approved. I think it's $108,000 maximum income and a credit score of 640. We can get them into a home with no down payment. And guys, we negotiate with a seller to get them closing costs paid, at least half, if not all. So you literally can motivate and move a buyer in with little to no money out of pocket. I can tell you right now, most agents aren't really utilizing that, and the buyers are not aware of that. So imagine crafting your message. Remember, you got to craft the right message to the right market. You craft a message where you are informing the buyer that there are programs available with possible zero down payment programs, and you are finding that, credit score can be anywhere from as low as 580 to 640. So you craft that message and you send that out on your ads, you're going to get more buyers biting. But now that they bite, how do you get them to actually call you? Well, I would suggest partnering with a lender and creating one of your squeeze pages where you tell the buyer in your message, you craft it this way. Hey, Mr. Buyer, there are so many programs available right now in our local area. Programs that literally we're seeing families move into homes with no money out of pocket. Is that something that would interest you? And how would you like to know if you qualify for that program and you don't even have to talk to anybody? You don't have to talk to an individual about your credit. You go and you log on and you check it yourself, and if it lines up with what we're telling you, then we can have a conversation. How would you like to do that with no pressure? You don't have to talk to a person, and once you're qualified, then we can reach out to you and start letting you know about some of these awesome deals that you can get with little or no money out of pocket. Boom. There is your message to market. Now, I know some of you are going, yeah, but that's going to give me bottom of the barrel. Guys, you use that message on 100 leads, I promise you, you're going to see people reaching out to you in numbers that you haven't seen yet. And why is that? You are solving a problem, and that problem is they think their credit sucks and they think they need a lot of money down. If you can get them to a website, now here's the trick. You got to hook up with a local lender and get a site from him that you can send them to. But your lender, you might need to go through a couple lenders to get to this, but you need to find a lender that has a site that you can send them to that will allow them to do all of this on their own without having to talk. And tell the lender, look, I don't want my buyer talking to you right now, but I want them to check their credit with you. I want to see if they can get approved. Listen, LendingTree has this down. You can go to LendingTree right now and you can log on, and LendingTree will tell you within about 10 minutes if you're approved and how much you can be approved for. Now, guys, we all know it has to go through underwriting and all of that. But look, you got to get them over that hurdle of being afraid. Remember when you were thinking about buying a car, you had to get over that hurdle and finally make it to that lot. Well, car dealers are advertising some crazy crap right now. They are literally speaking to the psychology of that buyer, talking about no money down, talking about most people approved, easy approval process, walk in and walk out in 10 minutes, that kind of stuff. They're breaking the mold of the psychological barrier that says to that buyer, your credit sucks and you don't have any money. So guys, that's the tip of the day. Change your message to market. Bring the message that the buyer, not that you want him to hear, but that he needs to hear. And that is, how would you like to find out if you qualify for one of these zero down programs and not have to talk to an individual? How would you like to find out if you qualify for getting closing costs paid and not be pressured into getting into a car today? Well, we can do that for you. Go to this website, and once you log on and you self-check your own credit, once you do all of that, then we can have a conversation with you. You do that, and I guarantee you're going to see the buyers responding to your emails and text. Man, I hope this was something that made sense. I know I'm rambling, but we've got to come to a place where we get buyers calling us. We get buyers responding, and sellers too, to the advertisements that we send out. And if what you're doing right now isn't working, then take what I'm saying under advisement, get with your lender, find out what you can offer to a buyer so a buyer doesn't have to physically talk to anybody to get that approval. And comment back on me in the next couple of weeks to months and let me know if this is something of value that's working for you. And if I've totally confused you, well, just message me underneath and we can have a private conversation. But guys, it's time to get our buyers, our real estate advertisement leads to start communicating with us. So look at your message to market. Think like they do. And if your credit is excellent and you're like, I can go to a car dealer right now and get whatever. If that's you, well, put yourself in the mind of that buyer. There's a reason why they're not communicating with you. All right, guys, that was the tip of the day. Hope it made sense. Again, if you want to log on to the marketing social, don't log on. Find the marketing, social media, and lead gen mastermind group. Ask to join. There's so much stuff in here that you guys can download and pick from. and just some really good, well, I hope it's good value. And for those of you that are following me right now, please, Adam, thank you so much. Adam posted a really great tip here. So go onto the site and start posting listen, share what's working for you. All right. Have a fantastic day and go get her done.